Welcome to the Modern Mystics stream. My name is Sarah. Today I'm going to be doing some tarot readings for you guys. So, the first question that I'm going to look at is from Holly. She is in Maryland and she says, "How can I deal with the stress of my family unrest?" So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to pull, let's see. So to deal with the stress of her family unrest. Let's see what the root cause is of this stress. Let's see what she can do to make it better. And maybe just see what's coming next. What to expect in your family situation. So I'm going to pull 3 cards for this. Oh, card jumped out. So sometimes a card jumps out that you didn't pull, and this sort of, it's also important for the theme of the situation, and the High Priestess came out. The High Priestess is a lot about your inner voice, your inner self, being true to yourself. So maybe you're just trying to stay true to yourself right now, and sort of not let your family throw you off of that. And maybe you're alternatively trying to not be yourself and try to keep everybody in harmony and play peacemaker at all times. But that can get really stressful, and that can keep you from really living your life because you're trying to fix everybody else's life. And although you mean well, it's really, sometimes there's just nothing you can do to change people's minds, and you just have to be true to yourself. So the first one is going to be, what's the root of this? And so 10 of Pentacles. This is a very family card. Makes a lot of sense. It might be money, it might be wealth, it might be family ideals that have been passed down, sort of traditions. You might be breaking some traditions, you might be breaking some rules within the family. I really think that there might be some people in your family trying to hold on to things that are not really, they're not willing to adapt. They're wanting to hold to a tradition that maybe just isn't working out well right now. So this is what you need to do in order to try to make things better. And it was the 5 of Swords. And that's interesting because the 5 of Swords is kind of thought of as a sneaking around behind people's backs. Maybe people have left because you've tried to get too much for yourself, or you've tried to deceive them too many times in order to be selfish. But it also can be a card of just being crafty and being kind of clever with how you do things. You don't necessarily have to be dishonest, but maybe you just need to be a little more clever. And just realize that you don't have to tell them every single thing that you do. Maybe it's something that you're wanting them to accept about you, or maybe it's something that you feel like you have to be above board with everything. In reality, there are some things that people never approve of, even if you're not really wrong for doing them. They're just not going to approve of this. And you've just got to make your own decisions. You've got to be true to yourself, no matter what. And then the last one for what will happen next, I've pulled the Magician. This is great. This is you'll probably step into your power. You'll probably realize you didn't need their approval all along. You're going to move into better things. You're going to be able to create these new traditions for yourself. You'll be able to create your own rules. You're not having to worry so much about what they think. You're now stepping into your own power. I hope that helps you out, Holly. I really hope that you see that you really only need to be in charge of yourself. They may not approve, but as long as you're not doing it to hurt them, they really have no reason to get angry at you. You need to just be yourself. Alright, so I'm going to move on to Lily, who's asking, will I ever get my weight under control? So really, more than I want to answer, will I ever get my weight under control, let's look at how you can get your weight under control. Let's pull 2 cards, and those can be 2 changes for you to make for you to get your weight under control. Because I think we sort of enter into those sort of questions with a negative mindset. Like, will I ever get this done? And you're just looking for a yes, but that doesn't really show you what you need to be doing. It's really all about our actions and what we can change in our life to get to where we want to be. There's no, like, don't tell yourself, I'll never get my weight under control. That's not something that you need to tell yourself. Alright, so let's see how you can help yourself in this situation. Alright, so we've got the World. First off, we've got the World. It really might be that you're too scattered right now. You're focused on too many things, and so you're not able to focus on your weight. And so you're just like, when will I get my weight under control? But you're really doing too many things for you to make that positive change. It takes more focus and more change in your life than you would think to kind of make a change to your body. You have to get into habits, and you can't be everywhere at once. If you're trying to be everywhere at once and do everything for everyone, you're not going to focus on yourself, and you're not going to get to those goals that you're trying to make for yourself. Let's pull another card. Or alternatively, it might mean that you need to integrate new things into your life so that you can sort of build on them. You may not have enough going on. It may be that you're not actually doing enough to try to make it happen, and you're just sort of hoping. And I think that because I pulled the 8 of Swords. And so the 8 of Swords is really a big card of negative self-talk, negative thought process, thinking, I'll never do this, I'll never get this done, I'll never be able to do all those things, I'll never be able to change my weight, and I'll never be able to, get my weight under control. What you really need to do is stop telling yourself you can't do anything. Stop telling yourself that this is impossible for you. And in reality, it doesn't need to be the biggest focus of your life. If it really causes you a lot of struggle and you're constantly worried about it, then maybe you really need to go back and look at it again. Say, am I being unrealistically negative about myself? Am I being unrealistic about what I can do and what I can't do? If there's way too much on your plate, take a little bit off. If there is not enough on your plate and you're just sort of sitting around not doing anything, you might need to get something in the works. Get a diet plan, get an exercise plan, talk to a nutritionist. And if you're stressed and that's the reason that you're kind of struggling with weight, just be more forgiving with yourself. Just understand that, like, your body is in a constant state of fluidity. Your body grows and it changes, and just try to be more forgiving, because if you've just been telling yourself all the time that you can't get your weight under control, you're going to believe it because that's what you've been telling yourself. So I think all you really need to do is just don't think it's impossible. It's not impossible. Alright, so we're going to move on to, and I hope that helps you, Lily. I really do. I've struggled with weight in the past, and so I really think that just don't beat yourself up. Alright, so we've got Hannah, and she says, I'm married but separated. We've been trying to work things out and it's going well at the moment. Will we stay together for good? Okay, let me look at this. Alright, Hannah. Gonna shuffle. Alright. Let's see the reason that you're not sure. What's the reason that you're not sure? Oh, almost dropped it. Temperance. So you're not sure if you can work things out because you're not sure if you can stay balanced or that you can keep a balance between the two of you. It might be an imbalance of power. It might be an imbalance of time spent at work or with you, or energy spent with you, and you're not sure if you can get back to that balance or create that balance if you didn't have it before. And let's see, will we stay together for good? I'm not going to look at this as a yes or a no. I'm just going to try and interpret how the rest of your journey together is going to be. Alright, so we've got an Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is a great card for creating security and planting new seeds and growing financial abundance together and putting down roots. It looks like you can make this work. You can get back. You just have to both be putting in the effort, and you both have to be willing to start fresh, because the ace cards are always a new beginning. You really need to start fresh with him. And just don't be afraid, or her. Just don't be afraid to create balance and plant new seeds and believe in new beginnings. And don't be too focused on where you failed before. It may not have even been a failure. You may have just not known each other the way you needed to know each other. And so now it's time to start again. Plant new seeds. Yeah, that's a card of security. So if you're willing to put the work in, you're going to see some results. All right. Bonnie has asked, and she lives in Michigan, she asked, will we have a bad winter here in Michigan? Let me look. That one is really not one that you can kind of interpret a whole lot of leeway either way. So we're just going to kind of look for a yes or a no. If there's a card that I think really shows a little more insight, then I'll look at that. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm assuming you will have a bad winter, because Five of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite tarot, these two people are out in the cold and it's snowing and they're outside of a church. So I assume at the very least you're going to get quite a bit of snow. I've really never done a weather reading, but I know that they're out in the snow. So I would assume it's going to be kind of bad. I bet you it will be very cold. Alright. I don't think there's a whole lot more to say about that one. But there's very likely going to be a bad winter in Michigan. Alright. I'm going to move on to Wesley. And Wesley has said, will my annoying neighbors move out anytime soon? So I'm just going to read a yes or no for that one as well. Because, and then we'll try and see how soon it'll be. How soon they'll move out. If they move out. Will my annoying neighbors move out anytime? Oh! Six of Swords jumped out. Six of Swords jumped out. That's good. That suggests they will be moving on. This is a card of moving on, traveling, not living where you used to live anymore. I think they will. I think they will move on sometime soon. Let's see if we can see how soon. That's interesting. Move out anytime soon. How soon? Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is pretty fast. Knight of Swords is like on the Rider-Waite. He's just like running and he's charging with his sword. And yeah, I think that this could be very quickly. They could move out very soon. It might be, I would say, in the next 6 months. They'll probably move out. So, good news. Good news, Wesley. I think they will probably move out pretty quickly. Alright, Leon. Leon asks a very big question. Says, I've noticed a trend for me and others around me. Things are harder than they used to be. Is there a universal reason for this, and will things improve soon? He's in Kansas. So it's hard to kind of say, is there a universal reason things have gotten harder? So the people around, let's just ask for Leon and the people around him in Wichita, and see, things are harder than they used to be. Is there a universal reason, and will things improve soon? So let's see what the reason is. Because I don't know that you necessarily could boil it down to one reason for everyone in the world. But for the people around him, maybe there is. So let's see. So I'm going to pull a card to see what's the reason that things have been harder for Leon and the people around him. So Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. That's the reason. There may be, this could be a specific woman that's in your life. If it's like someone has caused problems around you, or this could be an energy, which is a sort of, if it's a negative, it's sort of haughty and kind of like, I know what's best. There's a big fire energy to the Queen of Wands that kind of is like, I know what's right and I'm gonna say it. And maybe it's just too much bluntness. Maybe there's been a little too much, I don't know, people speaking their minds without thinking first. People kind of acting like they know what's best. And I don't know. It could be that there's just someone in your midst that you need to stand up to. Or it might be that we all need to treat each other with a little more respect, a little more patience. Because the Queen of Wands is not a very patient person. Will things improve soon? Let's look and see if things will improve soon. So I pulled Eight of Swords for a second time. But this is for a completely different reading. But Eight of Swords, you're stuck in it as long as you want to be stuck in it, is really what it means. There's I can't do anything about it. But that's not true. You can do something about it. You can make changes that will end up making it better. But you have to kind of step outside of this mindset of I can't fix anything, I can't help anyone, I can only sort of wait for things to end. Don't do this negative self-talk. Don't do this thing where, why is all this happening to me? Just try and find a way that you can make your situation a little better. Once you start doing things to make things a little better and a little better and a little better, and if you need to stand up to that person, stand up to that person. If you need to be, more decisive about where you spend your time and how you spend your thoughts, do that. Don't spend all your time waiting for things to get better when you could be making a difference. And if it's a big situation that you really don't have any control over, then you really don't have any control. That's the opposite side of it, is sometimes you really are just stuck. Sometimes you really just have to wait it out. If you have done all you can and you understand that you're like, well, I can't do anything, I just have to wait for this to end, then you just have to wait for it to end and do your best and try to be a light. Try and be a light to other people. Make things easier. There's just, we've all got our own ability to try and make things a little better. And if you're not taking that opportunity and you're sort of like, help, what do I do? Just try and make someone's life a little better. Say something kind to someone, and don't try to help people with criticism. Try to help them with encouragement. I think that's probably, for Queen of Wands and Eight of Swords, that's probably what needs to happen. And just don't be impatient. Queen of Wands could also be impatience. It's just a real forward driving, tell it like it is. And maybe you need to pull back a little bit. Maybe you need to go, okay, what can I do to be kinder? Instead of trying to just like fix, criticize, let's try and focus on how people feel. How do you feel? How can I help you? What do you need help with? Don't tell them what they need help with, just help them. Alright. I hope that answered your question. It was a very universal sort of question, and I hope that brought you some help. Alright, I'm going to move on to Rose. It says, will I get a promotion next month? So, let's see. Will I get a promotion next month? Alright, get a promotion, and then maybe what's behind the promotion. Alright, King of Swords. So King of Swords can be a yes or a no. I think it's normally kind of a negative, but I think if you have been really decisive, if it's a job where you have to be kind of strong and stand firm, this could be, you taking this position. If it's a higher position, King of Swords is somebody that's got authority, very authoritative card. You could have a promotion. Depends on the job. Look at the job. If you think that doesn't apply to the job that you're getting, then it may be a no. So let's see what's behind promotion. This will be kind of how your work will be after you get the promotion or after you don't get the promotion. This is what you can look forward to in the workplace. Alright. So Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, the way this card is, it looks a little spooky, but it's not spooky. It's really just that you have choices. You're going to have more freedom of movement. It's going to be more on you how your work goes, because you'll have more freedom, you'll have more flexibility, and so it'll be up to you to make choices. It'll be up to you to kind of go, well, I want to work hard and, reap the benefits, or, oh, I want to just kind of slack off because now I'm where I'm at, so I'm going to plateau. It's really up to you. Though this is a good card for just sort of freedom of movement. You need to go with, like, the grass is going to grow wherever you water it, essentially. And so I do think you've got a good chance at this promotion. I think that this could happen. Yeah. So it also could mean that it's just not set in stone yet. Maybe the people who will make the decision haven't even made the decision yet. And the decisiveness of the King of Swords is they are deciding right now. So, because the future is, it moves and it shifts based on people's choices. But I get a very positive feeling off of this for you. I think that you will be moving onward and upward. Alright, so last person that we've got today is we've got Neve, which asks, how will September 2021 be compared to now? Asking questions that far in advance, so that's 10 months away from now. Usually, tarot card readings for the future, I feel, are the most accurate within 3 months. But as it stands right now, with all still the moving parts in place, we can look and see sort of the trajectory that we're on for September 2021. I think that would be okay. It's just, unless the trajectory changes significantly, and this is going to kind of be for you specifically, for Neve specifically, because September 2021, it's going to be different for everyone. It's going to be different for everyone. This year has been different for everyone. So this is how September 2021 will be on the current trajectory that you're on now. I'm just going to pull 3 cards to try to give us the themes. So let's look at that. Shuffle that real good. Alright. So the very first card we get is Death. And Death is not a card that means you're gonna die. It means that something is ending. So something that you're doing right now, you are not going to be doing in September 2021. This is likely something significant. You're going to either get rid of a bad habit, or get a new job, or stop hanging out with certain people. Death means that something's going to end. We don't know exactly what it is that's going to end yet, but we're going to look and see with these next two themes. So that suggests an ending to whatever these other two cards are going to be, or that you will simply get better at cutting your losses and moving on. Six of Wands. So Six of Wands is a real triumphant card. So if you haven't felt really triumphant this year, then this might mean that you end up in some triumph after you end whatever it is that you end. You might have been like holding on to things that you feel sentimental about, or people that you feel sentimental about, or places that you feel sentimental about, and it's been holding you back. It's been keeping you from moving to where you're supposed to go. If you've just been sort of stagnating this year and you haven't gotten a lot of forward motion, you're going to have more forward motion by then, by September 2021, as long as you stay on the path you are now. And King of Wands. King of Wands. So two pretty good wand cards in conclusion. So here they are, all three together. So it might mean that you stop doing these two things, or it might mean that you stop being with these people, because these are both cards that can represent people. So there might be a fire sign man in your life and you're not going to be around him anymore, or it might be that you stop sort of worrying and then you move forward into your power. You sort of take on the King of Wands and the Six of Wands as yourself, and then you move on. Then again, the Six of Wands and the King of Wands in their negative side could be very braggadocious people, or people that kind of have outbursts. I wouldn't think Six of Wands, but King of Wands might have like outbursts, and you might stop doing that. You might get a better handle over your passions. You might get a better handle over how you come across to others. You might be too headstrong right now, and then you kind of pull that back. Or you might stop holding yourself back and then become more headstrong. It just depends on what we're bringing it into. And I think that's it. I hope that these readings have brought some enlightenment to you guys. I hope that that shed some light on any issues that you've been having, on your future. And I hope you all just have a great week. Have a great week and be safe out there.